The Imani Speaks Show.
Greetings, Josie. How are you?
Hi, Imani. I'm very well indeed, very well. I'm very excited with a few things that I'm involved with. I see a bright future. What about you? How are you keeping?
Yeah, I'm keeping very well. Thanks for asking. The day is lovely and sunny and glorious, and I'm ready to play because I think each day should be about playing. We shouldn't be sort of like, oh, it's all drudgery and I have to work. We get to play in this beautiful planet that we all share.
Yes, I totally agree with you. But again, if you're not doing something exciting, something which motivates you, something which kicks you out of the bed, then you have to think again. Because at the end of the day, every day is my last day. Every day is my last or my first, depending the way I look at it. So today I feel very excited because I've got a few things which kick me out of the bed. It looks that bed became my next enemy now, because those things, they tell me, listen, while you're in bed, you're not getting it, so get out. So this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, fabulous. Josie, obviously you bring such freshness to the show. But if someone hasn't heard from you before, can you just give people a little bit of a background behind, the businessman? Who is Josie? Give us a little bit of just some sort of introduction about yourself.
Well, we have to ask our audience if they've got 3 years to listen to me or some more than that. No, I'm just joking anyway. But Joe is, my day job is a financial advisor or wealth manager, or if you want, an investment manager. But now I became very involved and passionate about financial inclusion. So basically, I teach people how they can manage their finances so they don't go in debt. But just in case if they do, I also teach them how to get out of debt. And, and this goes for the family, for the businesses, how they should protect themselves and protect their wealth, so therefore they could have a balanced life. So my aim, actually, and what I am guided by, is to empower people to have financial independence by education, coaching, and mentoring. So this is me. And on side of that, obviously, I wrote a small little book, which is on Amazon. People who like to know, what they should do with themselves and, how to leave mark on the world, they can go and check on 50 Shades of Wealth, how to build your true wealth, master your asset protection, and ensure your legacy. So this is about me, and so hopefully, I will be exchanging a couple of ideas with the people, our audience today, which they can use to, enrich their life.
Yeah, that is an amazing book. I'm glad you mentioned that. It is worth having people, seriously. It breaks down very, very, very complicated, monetary things in a very simple way. It's really sort of shared very important information with us. Josie, I wanted to talk, because you've got a very important seminar coming up in the next week or so. So I really just wanted to, on the show, really just get you to share that with people. And you're going to be doing crowdfunding, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for asking. And basically, we realize that in our society now, there is a lot of more insecurity today than it was maybe in the past. So people live in a constant fear of, am I going to have a job next month? Am I, my job is going to cut down, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. If Britain leaves the EU, what's going to happen? And so insecurity is there, and it's growing by the day. And when we think alternative, if I don't have a job, what is the alternative? Most of the time is that I go and open my own business, or I get in partnership with other people And most of the time I do this in my area of expertise. So, if I'm a mechanic, most of the time I try to open a body shop, a work car shop or something like that. If I'm a chef, I tend to open a restaurant or get in there. So, but one of the things which really people struggle about is that I wanted to open that restaurant. I'm a very good chef and all of those things. How do I do that? In all my days of working, I have not accumulated enough money to do that. If I go to the bank, most of the time, things that the bank asks me, I cannot provide them because I'm a startup. I don't have a track record of running a business. No one knows me. I'm not rich and famous. I'm not a celebrity. So bank would not trust me to give me enough money even to do that. So people, most of the time, they shy away of fulfilling their dreams in terms of creating a business, creating a well-being for themselves and their family, because they fail from the start. I don't have the money, so therefore I can't open a business. So I can't open a business, I'm not going to become free. So it becomes a catch-22 situation where people are stranded. Now, as the world moved, developed, became more bespoke, if you like, the finances moved as well. So days where if I have to open a business, I need to go to a bank with a 20 or 30 or 50 page business plan with the whole cash flow. Those days have gone. Today, you've got ways of raising money as long as the project that you have is viable, as long as the project that you have makes sense, as long as you are clued up or skillful in the area that you want to get in, you can actually raise a substantial amount of money without having to go through the red tape, as I call it, without having to go through the bank to ask for money and see the bank manager who is not there to help you. Actually, he's there to look after the bank interest. So this is one of the form, we call it alternative financing or alternative funding, and crowdfunding is one of the alternative way of raising money. Now, let me give our audience an example that many people don't realize how it was. Many people may recall that in 2008, Barack Obama was running for presidency in the United States. Yeah, actually, he was running for the Democratic Party first, and then to presidency. Now, remember that he was against Hillary Clinton, who had all the establishment, all the money, all the power through her husband, yeah, who was the president, or was president before. Barack Obama was in that term no one knew him, no one trusted him, no bank, no big company was interested in giving him money. Now, he is one of the So he sat down and said, well, for me to beat those guys, I have to use a more intelligent form of raising money. So Barack Obama set up crowdfunding. How? He used the social media. He used all vehicles that he could to attract young people and people, poor people, black, and all the rest of it, who didn't have millions to write a check for. But they could write £50 or $50. They could write $100. They could write $200. They could write $10. Now, before everybody, including Hillary Clinton, knew, Barack Obama was raising more money than all of them combined. And up to today, in U.S. history of fundraising for presidency, no one ever raised more money than Barack Obama. Wow. And this is what crowdfunding is. The power of crowdfunding is that you raise a lot of money from a lot of people. So everybody does or puts small amount of money. This is where the crowd, the name comes, crowd, many people. This is what it is. So if you've got an idea, if you've got a project and you know that what you're going to do, you approach a platform, or if you know enough, you create a platform, and that platform raised money on small amounts to help you do the project. But by the way, it's not for me to sit down in my home now and say, okay, how I'm going to become rich tomorrow. the way to become rich tomorrow is to create a crowdfunding, and then I create a phantom project, and then people give me money, and then as soon as I collect the money, I disappear. This is not the purpose of crowdfunding. All right. So one of the things I teach people is that be responsible, because the way some people are taking it now is very dangerous. They think that is a way of getting rich quick. So they become rich overnight, and then they disappear with people's money. It is a small amount of money per individual, but it can destroy your reputation. It can destroy you in a matter of weeks. So this is what crowdfunding is, and this is what we will be talking about. And obviously we will bring more examples besides and beyond Barack Obama. Candidacy and all the rest of it. Of course, today you can see in U.S. election, everybody, even with big money, they're doing crowdfunding as well. But and it's spread around the world. But this is the first good example, powerful example of how crowdfunding can beat the traditional way of funding. I hope I answered the question in a simple way, so therefore people can follow us. I don't know, Imani, you tell me.
That's amazing that someone like the President Obama, used crowdfunding to fund his. Was it his first the first election? That's how he got. Yes.
He used it for the second as well, but the first one was the boom of the market, because no one was expecting that. It never happened in the US. Everybody goes to the big companies, give me the money, give me millions, give me this one. No, he went to the grassroots. Guys, I know that you don't have $1 million, but you got $10, you got $20. So people were writing $10, $20, $30, $50. Before they knew it, he beat everybody simply.
So he's really the president. They used to call him the people's president. So no wonder he got that name. So crowdfunding's been going for a while then. Why is it taking people so long to, cotton on to it? What's the, because obviously it's been going on for quite a while if it was during his first election.
Yeah, no, it was going even before that anyway. But as you know, it wasn't going even before that, because Barack Obama, we talk about 2008, crowdfunding has been in real life at least since 2005, at least. But the thing is, as like anything else, when these things come, as innovative, number one, we have to remember that the financial institutions, they are powerful. Mm-hmm. All right. So if they see something which is coming to threaten the establishment, to threaten their positioning, they crush it. It is typical. So it is very common, for instance, before, for you to go to a bank manager and say, well, you know what, I'm thinking of doing crowdfunding or alternative funding. No, those guys are all, they will never get that. And so they discourage you to use any form of alternative, because if you see the power of crowdfunding, it diminished a bit the position and the status of financial institution. It did, because before you want the money, you have to go to the bank. There's no other way. Right. Today I've got alternative. I don't have to go to the bank. Of course, banks are there, and many banks are involved in crowdfunding themselves because they set up platforms. So what they did is that, we can't beat those guys, so what are we going to do? We're going to join them. So what they done, they create a platform, crowdfunding platform as well, where they assess the thing, and then they send it out in social media and all the things to collect the money in small chunks. So, because otherwise that would mean a demise of many banking institutions anyway. So they joined the race. So to answer your question is that the thing is that when those things come out, number one, information, people don't have the information. Number two, even if they have the information, they don't have enough understanding. And let's be realistic. I'm a financial advisor. I mean, why would I take time 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 hours of my life to explain something to somebody when I could tell him, so you know what, do a business plan is a known thing and come to me. Do you understand what I mean? So,
Yes.
On my side as well, I just don't not there, not prepared to invest a lot of time, because it is perceived, or it was perceived, that people needing crowdfunding are people who cannot pay. So if that person cannot pay, they cannot pay my time. If they can't pay my time, why should I waste my time with them? This is a bit of that.
Right. I hear you. Yeah. I mean, it's, you mentioned the banks could be threatened by crowdfunding, but it seems as though this type of platform for funding businesses is going to stay. Do you feel like the internet was seen as a fad? A lot of people thought it was going to be something that came and went, and obviously it's here to stay. Do you see that with crowdfunding? Do you feel it's here to stay?
Crowdfunding is here to stay. Crowdfunding is here to stay because we are moving into a society now that people want flexibility. People want freedom of choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot see crowdfunding going unless the players decided to play foul play. Because I can see the regulators coming very heavy now on crowdfunding. The reason why they have to come heavy is because some guys decide that this is the way they can become rich very quickly using people's money. Yeah. So there will be a lot of regulation to control that. No, but crowdfunding is going to stay, because actually, as I mentioned to you, bank joined. They didn't run. So bank found that if they don't join the race, they're going to be out and they're going to be dead. They joined the race. So since the banks joined the race, there's no way crowdfunding will not stay. It's here to stay. My belief is that it's here to stay.
Yeah, because hearing you say that, what I do know about the big boys, if they can't win you and get the better of you, then they will join you and try to utilize what you've created and make it their own.
Yeah, that's true. This is what they're doing right now. Excuse me. This is exactly what they're doing. This is the time now when people who got project and think, this is time for them to come forward. Because the day banks start controlling this thing, obviously I don't want to go into too deep in this, because obviously it may not be the purpose of this conversation, but let me maybe bring one example. Years ago,
Josie, can I just stop here? I'm just mindful of the time. I just thought we should take a quick break. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So we come back and I'll give you the example that I was about to give. Okay, so let's have a break. Yes.
Let's take that break.
Yeah.
Okay, Josie, we're back, and listening audience, I'm speaking to Jose Santiago, and he is a financial advisor. And today he's talking to us about crowdfunding. So Josie, please pick up where you left off.
Yeah, I was just giving an example, which when years ago, when mezzanine finance came in, or when bridging loans came in, because bank we just give one loan to one, let's say, to property. We're not interested, and our loan take 10 years or 20 years for you to pay it off. And then some guys came out and say, well, you know what? Some people want a loan just for 1 month or 2 months. Why don't we create a bridge finance? And so then they create a bridge finance. When the bank found that they're losing a lot of clients, they joined the race, and it is here today. So the crowdfunding is exactly the same situation. They are joining, and they're joining it in a kind of a gang, if you allow me to, to control the race. Now, is it, obviously they're not controlling the races yet, but if people allow them, they will control the race, because this is what they're there for.
This is what they always do. So it's so important for people to come together on this and see this as the people's way to help themselves and help each other. So this sounds to me like real unity, whether it's local unity in the community or global unity in the community.
Yes, I would like to give another example. Okay, yes, it is. So you can create a crowdfunding if we, suggest to people. Let's say you've got a community of, 5,000 people. You can create a crowdfunding there, or create a platform where people put £5, £10, £20, and raise that money enough to help somebody. But bear in mind that when you do crowdfunding, you need to convince, or you need to be clear on what people are going to get back. Now, what they're going to get back is not necessarily money. It may be passion or realization of that something is being done to enrich their life. So let's say somebody who is passionate about, they're passionate about dogs. And there are abandoned dogs in there, and you create a project whereby you're going to look after all of those dogs and then give them a healthy life or whatever it is. People who are passionate about dogs, they will crowdfund you. Now, they may not necessarily need the money back. They may not be asking you for money back, but they want to make sure that you are saving the dogs. Are you with me?
Yes.
So the satisfaction of them saying, "Oh, my £20 is helping 2 or 3 or 10 or 4 dogs." That realization is the reason why I'm putting £20, not because I want £22 back. So this is one way of crowdfunding. Mm-hmm. But one other good example of crowdfunding that people may not realize is Wikipedia. I'm sure many people who is listening knows of Wikipedia. The guy who wrote Wikipedia, he wrote it and put it out there, and people contribute, and then. But every year he comes and asks for money. Please give $10, $5, or whatever you have to continue the project. This is crowdfunding. So he's making a living on that thing and beyond. Because Wikipedia might have, 10 million people or subscribers. If each one of them give $1, the guy is making $10 million a year.
Wow.
This is crowdfunding.
So, as well, as you say that, one of the things that's just come to me, so anyone who's in business, anyone who's on the internet should set up some type of subscription, because that's a kind of crowdfunding, isn't it, for your business?
Yes, you can do that as well. Yes, this is the thing. Obviously, we can call it whichever name you want.
It's still crowdfunding.
Yeah. Exactly. Because if you take it to the extreme, crowdfunding is whenever you've got a group of people putting money for a cause. This is crowdfunding.
Yes.
So that cause can be a social cause, it can be a charitable cause, it can be a business.
Yeah.
So the reason why we call it crowdfunding is when we've got the idea that it has to be profitable. So it has to render, if you like, return, financial return. Mm-hmm. But crowdfunding is anything to do, and many people putting money for one cause, being it profitable, being it charitable, being it social, it does not matter.
Yeah, that's amazing. Josie, what I'm feeling is it's very exciting, crowdfunding. What would you say to people about? Because some people might say, well, it's all good and well to have the platform and have a great idea. How do I promote this to people? How do I market my project that I have or my business that I have?
The first thing I would say is that people should not just start going there and set up a platform for crowdfunding, because obviously if 2,000 of us is in business, 2,000 of us created 2,000 platforms to collect money, then it loses all the excitement, it loses everything, so it loses the meaning. What I would suggest to people is that there are specialist companies, specialist platforms which help people from the idea up to raising money. So they help them shaping the project. They help them having the exit strategy in the project. They help them put everything together up to the point when they can raise enough money. Because more importantly, it's not just me putting a platform there. More importantly, is the message I send to people that I want to give me the money. Because if I go to the internet today and see any project, for instance, for Save the Tree that I never heard of or whatever, and they bring no meaning to my life, I wouldn't put money to that. So I think people are supposed to think themselves what project they want to do business-wise, think about it, and then approach a professional. Because a professional platform will be able to tell them, oh, this project can be funded, this project cannot be funded, and potentially there. The other thing also is that, how much money do you need? Because crowdfunding can be so a landmine that you say, okay, I'm going to go there and I'm going to raise money or whatever. You need £200,000, and you've done all of those things and you raised only 50,000. So, you know, it needs a bit more of just the idea of raising money. You know, you need to know who to target, where to target, how to target. You need to know the message you send out, how you send that message, long message, short message. Is message for the young? Is message for women? Is message for men? Is message for over 40, over 60? Are you with me? So there are a lot of things around there.
So you're talking about target marketing. So that's very important. You don't just put it out there and just hope for the whole world. You have to target your audience, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. Plus the benefit targeting. Mm-hmm. Because I may be targeting everybody who is over to 40, but not all of them are 1.70 meters and above.
Yes.
Because, you know, I may be very passionate about, oh, I love high heels. Oh, hold on, but I'm not suitable. You know, these are the type of things. So besides or and beyond being the target market, the benefit target needs to be well designed. Because you can reach the real target market that you want, and your message is not suitable.
Wow. So it's many, many things, and it's not as simple as just putting a project out there and thinking you're going to get, 10 million people, contributing for your cause or your business.
No. I have to let you go back to Barack Obama. He didn't target the middle class white wasp in the United States in first election. He didn't. Mm-hmm. Who did he target? The janitor, the cleaner, the security guard, the Hispanic, the blacks, the poor. Those are the people that he targets with a very clear message. We can.
Yes.
And can we change the society to our benefit? Yes, we can. Can we do this? Yes, we can. So people resonate. Oh, wow. Of course, can I?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was an amazing message, I must say, and obviously it worked for him. It got him in.
Of course, and got him in the way he did, didn't it?
That's right.
So it got him in the way he did. So what I'm saying is that crowdfunding is very powerful. Is easier to raise money to the traditional forms of raising money. It is something that people can raise a lot of money in a very short space of time. People can raise money all over the world. It's another very thing that people need to realize. Because if you go to a bank in the UK, he looks into your project within the UK business frame. When you launch a crowdfunding, you may be getting somebody from Fiji Island who is passionate and resonate with what you're doing in the UK. So that person would be able to put $5 or $10 to help your project. So crowdfunding is extremely powerful, extremely flexible, extremely enriching. But people need to know what they do, and obviously they need to not think that this is a vehicle for them to get rich and then run away with the money.
Yeah, like previous vehicles before, people have to have integrity and
yes.
Respect other people and respect people's money, because people bring their money. It's hard, it's hard earned. I don't know anyone who can just pick money up off the streets. It's hard earned. So it's about understanding that and respecting that. Is what I'm here to say.
No, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you know where I come from anyway, because what is being destroying many people and get people into debt, into stress, to heart attack, into depression, and all of those things is exactly sometimes people don't take integrity very seriously. Because if I know that I cannot, my earning does not support me to spend £50 a day, I have to, if I want to spend £50 a day, then I have to go and earn £50 a day. I cannot leave working for £20 a day and wanted to spend £50 a day. Now people say, oh no, I need to leave. Hold on, if you've got integrity, you would know that you have no ability of paying that money.
That's right.
So crowdfunding is exactly the same situation. If you are sure that you're going to give value to people and you're doing it for good cause and the thing, yes, crowd will going to be behind you, and I'm going to be the first one in the queue say, hey, help, because it's a good cause, and bring people that I know to support and say, yeah. But if you didn't take time to care about that 10, 20, 30 pounds of an individual by giving them value, with your integrity and thing, then there's no point of getting involved, because crowdfunding can also be a very big landmine, as I mentioned.
Yes, it's something that you've got to really think through and not see it as, I can put up a project and tomorrow I'm a millionaire and that's it. Josie, what I'd like you to do, could you just give 5 quick reasons how people can benefit? Because, you are explaining so much, but if you can just in 5 points, just explain to people, what will they benefit from crowdfunding rather than going down the traditional route of getting their business through the banks, getting their business loans through the banks, sorry.
The first thing that they would benefit is the flexibility, because when I go to a traditional bank, I have to go with the whole set of documents that they require from me, and I may not be in a position to supply them with those documents because I'm a startup. I've been working for 30 years in my life for this company or these companies, and today I want to start up my own business. I don't have a track record of running a business myself. So the first thing people would have is flexibility, because that instrument is there for that purpose. The second is it is perceived to be lower risk. So it is lower risk for me to contribute with £50 into your cause that I believe in, then the bank give you £5,000. So it's a risk perception type of thing. Yes, in the end, you may raise £20,000 of a collection of many people. Nevertheless, it's not one big risk for one person. So you spread the risk amongst, 1,000 people or 2,000 people or so. So the risk leverage is lower. But obviously, because the risk leverage is lower, it does not mean that the project promoters become complacent, become irresponsible for that. No, he should carry the project the same way as if it was the bank giving him £20,000. So this is the thing. So the risk leverage or risk perception is something that they should that you get. The third is the reach. Reach means that rather than you just reaching people in the UK, you reach the 7 billion people in the world, where a fraction of those share the common denominator with you, share the same belief or same passion or same wanting. So when you establish a project to save the oak tree, for instance, you may have, 2 million people in the UK who oak tree. You've got 10 million in the US, we make it 12 million. You've got, another 100 million around the world, make it 112 million. Now, if you were just to do it in the UK in a traditional form, you would only be able to reach the 2 million people in the UK. before you know it, you've got a reach of, let's say, 112 million people, which give you a better exposure or better opportunity. The fourth reason why is that, remember that the people who sponsor your project, they can become your clients. Actually, they are your clients, because those people are the same people that if you've got a product you're going to sell, they would be in the front of the queue to buy the product. Because remember, they gave you the money before you show them the product. Mm-hmm. So when you got the money and you produce the product, those people, those 112 million people, are potential clients of yours. This is an opportunity that the bank will never give you, ever. Because the bank gives you the money, but he will not expose you to 2 million people who are, which means that you would have to get the money, get the product, and get it to marketing. In this case, it's the reverse. You've got the client queuing up, waiting, expecting you to produce that. And if you are good at what you do, at what you told them that you do, definitely those people are they are the thing. The other thing is crowdfunding. Most of the time is not a debt funding, which means, for instance, if I go to the bank, most of the time the bank gives me the money, but he takes security on my house, or takes security on my boat, or my land, or whatever I've got, or on my investment. Crowdfunding don't require that, which means that you are starting from a clean slate. You are starting, in theory or technically, debt-free. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So, which means that your business is operating, your business is starting from the point of strength, which, you got money there, but that money is not tied into this thing, which means that if the project fails, genuinely, it failed. That's it. But most of the time when you go to a bank, if your project failed, you lost your home. Why? Because the security that you gave the bank is your home. So if you don't pay him back because whatever went wrong, the bank comes and sells your house. And we've got many people in that situation. So in that regard, those things are very powerful. The flexibility, the risk leverage, if you like, the reach, or the amount of people you can achieve, those same people that you can reach in terms of raising money are the same people that you can reach to become your client, or at least a huge percentage of them is going to become your client. And then obviously the debt security ratio, because because the crowdfunding does not have that linkage to existing asset that you have. So therefore, if the project fails, chances are that you don't have to pay no money back to the people, and it is. But obviously, I believe that anybody who gets into crowdfunding got a genuine intention of making it a success. So those are the 5 ideas that people can think of. 5 benefits that they can think of. There are many more, obviously, but those are the 5 that I feel that are immediate, that people can actually think about and use.
Wow, that was powerful. Everything you said there, it just solidified for me why crowdfunding is a new and an amazing way to go about funding your businesses and ideas. One of the things you said there about the people who sponsor your ideas in the first place, they can become your clients and customers. That's really brilliant. So you're sort of feeding 2 birds with one stone there.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the beauty, or one of the biggest beauties of crowdfunding. If it's done properly, I mean, as soon as you start, you won.
Yes, it's a chance for the little person to be a winner out there, and to be backed by other people at his level. As you said with President Obama, he went to the man in the street,
Yes. So basically, another thing that people should consider is that crowdfunding put you at the same level, roughly, as the big institutions, because quite easily you can raise £5 million, okay, with no 20 years track record, no office in the Strand or Cheapside, none of these, and you can raise £10 million. Which is a privilege that very few companies have when they go to the bank. So at that level, it puts you neck and neck with the big boys in town. So all you have to do really is to play the game and know how to play the game.
Indeed. Definitely. It's funny, as we're talking about crowdfunding, there's something that it reminds me of, partnerships. Like back in the 60s, a lot of people, when they came from the Caribbean into this country, they couldn't, it was very hard for them to find property to rent. It was always, quite difficult. And they all joined forces and did this thing called partnership. Have you heard of that, Jose?
Yes, I heard of that, yeah, but if you want to elaborate a bit more, that's fine. I heard of it, yes.
Yeah, it's where people come together and they put a certain amount of money in the pot, and each, over a period of time, so say every 2 months, somebody gets a share of all that's been collected in the pot, and that goes on until everybody has got their share of what has been contributed. So that's how that works. Is there any sort of connection between partnership and crowdfunding?
If you want my honest answer, at least for what I could read so far, this is the origin of crowdfunding. Now, the only difference is that yes, because that partnership, you call it many names across the world. Some people call it table community funding or whatever, table funding. Others call it so you got many names to the same thing, which is we join forces, 10, 20, 30, 50 of us, put the money, and then it rotates between us. This month is you, the next month is your, or this week or whatever it is.
Yes.
Or, we buy and we sell and we split the profit. So this is the origin of crowdfunding. The only difference now is that crowdfunding was exploded, if you like, through the power of internet.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is the difference. So rather than being just the community which came from the Caribbean, let's say just from Jamaica or just from Barbados or Barbados and Jamaica, now you've got Barbados, Jamaica, you've got Britain, you've got all Europe, you've got Japan, China, you've got everywhere.
Yes.
So you've got 7 billion people rather than having 20 or 30. So this is the origin of crowdfunding. So obviously crowdfunding, because it's touching different culture, different places, different thing, it raises the, if you like, you need to raise your stake, because with partnership, everybody knows everybody. So if you don't pay the money, chances are you go to the pub on Friday evening, you see the guy, so you don't want to face the music, so then you give the money. Now, crowdfunding, the guy who's giving you the money from China, you never met him, and chances are you will never meet him.
Never meet, yeah.
So this is the thing, but this is the origin of crowdfunding, definitely.
Wow. No, it's a powerful force, and it's funny. Over the last few weeks, with things that's been going on, particularly in the Black community, and a lot of people talking about, we need to come together, we need to unite, we need to support our own businesses and what have you. This seems like an amazing platform for people who feel, they want to do more in their sort of own community. And, as you say, with the crowdfunding, you can do in your own community, but globally as well. So if you want to support Black businesses, you can support them near and far with crowdfunding. What do you think, Josie?
Absolutely, you can do that. But again, I personally believe that circumvent ourselves to our community is not good enough. Because what happens is, because what happens is that not everybody in my community can support me. Some can, but not everybody can support me. This is first challenge. The second, not everybody in my community believe in what I believe. So what happens is that if I've got a community, because we live in a pocket of community, unfortunately. If I've got a community of 2,000 people, right, and 1,500 of them don't believe in the same thing I believe, my market shrunk from 2,000 to 500. But worse still, the 500 who believe like I do, or believe in what I believe, let's say 490 of them cannot support me. I'm left with the 10. Mm-hmm. So no matter how good I am, no matter how my community loves me, I'm dead in the water. So what I'm saying is that we needed to be a bit wiser. We needed to be a bit more open-minded, because this is something I say every single day. My mom loves me to death. She would give her life for me. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, there are lots of things my mom can't do for me. My mom cannot go to school and study for me and do the exam for me. She loves me. So this is just to give an example of love on its own, liking on its own, being of the same kind on its own does not cut it. My community may be the biggest cause of my death, not because they want to kill me, but because they're not in a position of helping me. I give another drastic example.
Interesting. We need to talk on that, because I think you're so right. And again, we're going to take a little break, and then you're going to come back and talk on that. But I do think that that's a really important point that you raise. But I also think that sometimes for certain communities, they do feel that they need to do specific things for themselves. But when we come back on the other side, you can go into more details to explain how we can, gain. It's important to gain money from a bigger total, or a bigger pot, if you will, and then you can probably do some of the things that are important to you in your specific, targets, such as maybe your own community of colour, or male or female, or what have you. But to get money, you need to go to the total, is what I'm hearing you say. But when we come back after this break, you will go into more details. That's a really important point that you're raising there.
Okay,
Josie, we are back, and if you've just tuned in, I'm speaking to the fantastic Jose Santiago. He is a financial advisor, and today we're talking about crowdfunding. And Josie was on a very important point just before we went to break, and he's going to resume.
Yes, so the thing that we need to be aware of is that no matter how passionate we are with our community, no matter how our community is passionate about our cause, we need to ask ourselves if our community can help us. Because if my community cannot help me, it doesn't matter the amount of love they feel for me. I'm going to be dead in the water anyway. So I'm loved and well seen in the community. Everybody wants me well, but no one can help me. So I just gave you an example, and this is the truth. First of all, you need to find out if your community can help you. Because if your community can't help you, don't start, dangling around. Yeah, I'm in my community, I'm well seen, and I go to the pub, everybody tapping me in the back, and you are a good guy. But I'm dead in water anyway. Yeah. So I've got a coach, right? I've got my coach, my personal coach, and he said, be important before become relevant.
Wow, say that again, Josie. That's fantastic.
Be important before you become relevant.
Wow. Explain.
So what he means by that, and I take it to heart, is before I can go and start helping everybody out there, I have to first. This is first thing. So, and he gives the example that when we on an airplane, and for safety, if you are traveling with the children, first of all, put the mask yourself before you help your child. They never told you, put the mask on your child and then put on you. No. save yourself first, then save your child. But you love your child, for goodness sake, it's your child. So, this is to say that if my community cannot help me, I'm dead. What does that mean? It's simple. We have to stop being confusing passion and lack of vision. What does that mean? It's simple. I love my community, guys. Don't get me wrong. But if my community cannot help me achieve what I want to achieve, I have to look further afield. I have to widen up. I have to be more flexible. You know, we know in our community so many projects which start and they die. Not because people don't want that, it's just because they can't help. They can't help.
And as well, I feel people get very frustrated, and you know, it's that thing of maybe, you know, like you said, if you're only taken from a very small pool, you know, people can have problems, people can maybe lose their jobs, and you know, eventually the whole idea becomes a strain rather than something that you're enjoying and it's growing and it's helping, you know, everybody. It becomes more of a frustration for the person, is what sometimes can happen. What are your thoughts?
Yes, you're totally right. But the problem is that, you know, I start believing, or many of us believe, that because I love certain things, everybody has to love it, number one. Mm-hmm. And because I can afford 20 pounds, everybody can afford 20 pounds.
Yeah.
This is not true. It's far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It is far from the truth. I need to be realistic, which is, can my community now support anybody, my child to be a Formula 1 race driver?
Mm-hmm.
Can they? They love my son. My son is a brilliant driver. But they look into their bank account, the bank account is empty. So how are they going to help him?
That's right.
They can't. So we need to be more realistic. We need to be more realistic. Now, other communities reach out before they reach in.
Say that again, please.
Other communities reach out before they reach in. They go to, where can I materialize? How can I materialize my project first? Then they bring the passion in the community. So this is what we have to. We became, we became a community of lovers, or community of passionate people. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we became a community of very unrealistic people. So if we don't stop that, we're going to be behind and behind and behind. Yes, you're quite right, and it become a frustration, because I've been thinking of doing that thing for ages, and I put all my money in, and I went to the bank and I borrowed the money, I put money in, and the project is not kicking off. Of course it wouldn't kick you off, because look, if let's say I'm opening a club now, a private club in my community, and then I tell them, guys, you know, for my club to run, everybody needs to pay £250 a month. Okay, it's a good project, because there are clubs there where people pay £5,000 a month, £10,000 a month, £20,000 a month, £1,000 a month, and I'm asking only £250. The problem is, where is my target market? If I'm thinking my target market is just my community, and most of my community cannot even afford £50, my project dies.
Indeed.
So the message is very simple. We need to start being more realistic. We need to check if we've got market within our community. And when I say market, it's not just market in terms of business. It's market in terms of business partnership, in terms of relationship, in terms of in terms of what I want and what I need to get to where I want. If I don't find that and I keep dreaming and dreaming, I'm dead, man. I'm dead.
So what I'm hearing you say, Josie, correct me please if I'm wrong. I'm hearing you say, have your vision, start with your vision, and then what will happen is, as you're trying to, you know, make your vision become a reality, you will find that you you won't be so confined to, it's only got to be this specific people that I'm going to go to. You're going to do whatever you can do, obviously with integrity, to make that vision a reality. Whereas what I feel you're saying a lot of us do, whether it's about, trying to do something for our community, or whether sometimes people say, just want to do things for maybe women over a certain age, or women under a certain age, or men at a certain, when you just narrow things down, what I'm hearing you say is spread as wide as you can. And then you've got a better chance of having your vision being realised.
Yes, this is absolutely true. Because one thing people don't realize is that once your vision is true, you can come back to your community, can't you?
Yes. And
your community is going to benefit.
Yeah, I truly believe that, because I actually had this conversation with somebody where it's funny, I was being asked a question and that's what came out of me. And I was like, afterwards I thought, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense, because I would have thought doing it the other way. I would have thought just go straight to, what you want, your passion, and then go there. But like you say, what you're passionate about could be quite small in terms of the people that can support that. So if you go wide, you can always fund your passion, and that will make you, you're happy doing that. But you've also got your bigger funding goal to source from.
Absolutely, because the other thing that we needed to realize, and crowdfunding helped us big time on that, is the fact that if our community cannot support £5,000, but they can support 50, let's use that.
Yes.
Let's use what we have to get what we want. Because once I've got a bank balance of £10 million, I can afford to give away 2 million, and I'm still well off.
That's right.
Now, if I have £50,000 in the bank and I decide to give 25, I'm 50% down.
That's right.
So many of us don't realize that passion, you are only allowed passion and luxury of doing what you want when you can afford it. And affordability is not just the money, it's the time, it's the skill, it's the behavior, it's the flexibility. This is what it is. For example, I want my child to be wearing only Timberland and all flexi floxies and shoes which cost 150 plus. Nothing wrong with that. But did I increase my bank balance to support that? Of course, if I didn't make my bank balance to support that, what do? I use somebody else's money, credit card, and obviously that person is not giving me money for free, interest.
That's right.
And I can't pay it this month, it's piling up, and before I know it, I'm in debt, and then I complain, I'm stressed. Oh, high blood pressure is on the way, etc., etc., etc. So we needed to start, as you said, think about the vision, think about what you want to achieve, but come back.
Yes.
How I'm going to make it a reality? How long is going to take me? Who do I have to speak to? This is something which we're lacking. Because in Black community, we've got so many extremely intelligent and capable people.
That's right.
But we suffer from gratification problem.
Gratification?
Yes.
Oh.
Quick gratification problem. Yeah, we suffer from that. This is a problem which affects 99% of Black people.
Why is
this
that?
Is the problem.
Why is that?
Well, because I believe that the English guy who's got his society built in thousands of years, right? And he built his fortune, all this thing, and because I saw this and he can wear, or his son can wear a trouser costing 250 pounds, I think I deserve that as well. And that's it. So, my son, yeah, of course, my son, I love him, man. He has to dress 250. Why not? No, it doesn't go that way. So, if we sit down and slow down on our quick gratification, immediate gratification, very few community can even level up with us, let alone beat us. Very few. But we eradicate that quick gratification. You see a boy of the 17, 18, the first thing he wants, I need to marry that girl, because come on, relax, boy. Slow down. You don't need to.
So learn to delay the gratification.
But working on it. I'm not saying going for sleep, because this is nothing we do. I'm thinking about that thing. I go for sleep for 10 years. I don't work on it. When I work and you ask me, Joe, have you thought about it? Yes, 10 years ago I thought about it. What did I do for the last 10 years? Nothing. And then I wake up and I want it to happen. No. I thought about it, I craft it, I work on it, and work on it. Yes, when 10 years come, yes, I can open my mouth and say, you know what, I've been working on it for 10 years. It's time for me to benefit. But we don't do that. And we teach our children the same thing. We teach our children they cannot save the money, they cannot save life, they cannot work to get something. I'll give you another example, seriously, and this worries me. We've got so many doctors, medical doctors. We've got so many engineers. But how many engineer or doctor which become, for instance, doctor who become consultant surgeon, the best surgeon in the world, the one who invented this, who is black? Very few.
Very low.
And you know why? Because we study very hard to become the best medical student in Oxford. For us, it's the end. We don't need to do anything else.
We've arrived, yeah.
Yeah, finished. We arrived. Oh, who are you? Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I was the first class degree in Oxford, and this is the past, man. I'm talking to you today.
What have you done lately? Yeah. Exactly.
Oh no, and this is the reason why you see most of us demanding others to call us doctors. I'm telling you. I mean, people come to call me doctor. No. You call me Jose Santiago if you want to call me. I was born, when I was born, my parents decided to call me Jose, and they gave me the surname. I'm happy with that. The titles that I've acquired along the way, they don't identify me. So, all I'm saying is that we needed to work on the vision.
Yes.
Come back to reality and work on it, step by step. And the immediate gratification, we have to control that. Because success doesn't happen overnight. The guy who started Walt Disney, he was totally bankrupt, bust. Was sleeping in a house where rats were playing around.
Oh.
In the middle of the night, he wakes up and he listened to a rat making that funny noise. This is how Mickey Mouse started.
Oh, I know. Interesting. Didn't know that. Did not know that.
The Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney, he was bankrupt, bust. He was nothing. Started a business, lose money, went out, started a business, he was totally broke. Sleeping in a house infested with rats.
Yeah.
And the noise of a rat waking up in the morning came, bang, this is it. A mouse who woke me and the thing is going to make me a fortune.
Wow.
And it did.
Who would have thought that?
Who? Of course, only people who are thinking about the dream. Sorry?
No, I'm just saying that's the thing. A lot of the time when we are in a situation where it seems to be a problem, because, I mean, I'll tell you what, if I was in a rat-infested house, that would be a big problem. I would not even be thinking about how I can utilise that to to turn my life around. But it just shows that, what you might perceive to be a problem or, an irritant, that it's almost like the universe is using that to speak to you and say, this is your calling. This is, you can use that to turn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that story about Walt Disney at all. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
The thing is, all of those things are things that we should learn about. And we've got so many examples. So many examples. One of them, for instance, everybody remembers Stephen Lawrence.
Yes.
The boy who was killed, many years ago. It was a tragedy for the family. It was a tragedy for the community. It was all of those things. The reality is, it happened. We cannot turn back the clock. But what can we do using what the disgrace which happened to empower us? And this is what other communities do.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, to mention Stephen Lawrence, it's hard to ignore the mother of Stephen Lawrence, who never gave up. And it's totally, I mean, she's now, I don't know what she does with her platform, but certainly I'm sure she's out there changing, things, around the law.
She's a dame now. She's a dame. Dame. Yeah, dame. Yeah, she's a dame. Yeah, dame.
Her fighting spirit, though. Her fighting spirit.
Yeah, but the good thing about that we can learn from that. Obviously, it came in the
tragedy. Yes.
A tragedy. But the reality of life is that tragedy happens every single day.
Yes.
So she picked that tragedy. It changed a lot of things, not just for her, but for the entire community.
Yes.
Now, I stopped following that because I become so annoyed. There was a time in London where every year at least 16 to 18 young men are knifed, are killed by another black guy or by another black boy or by all of it. What have we done with that? Nothing. And I've got 16 bright boys, with a future in their life, and they say, most of them, that those boys killed are always the brightest. What have we done? Oh no, we sit down and complain. Life is not fair. My boss is somebody who is a disgrace, and Brexit now, the government. No, pick up the thing that you have, work with it. Anyway, so this is my belief, and I believe that we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to offer, but we have to be willing to offer that. If we are not willing to offer that, then we are dead in the water.
Wow. Josie, how can people contact you? Because you've delivered so much, and I know there's so much more where that comes from. So if people want to know more about you and the work that you do and your book and the courses and all the rest of it, how do they contact you?
Well, they can email me if they wanted to. The easiest one is Jose, Jose, at jfsantiago, J for Joe, F for Freddy, Santiago.com. They can also, go to social media, and if they do Joe Santiago, Santiago J, they will find me as well in Facebook and places like those. Or they can just text me, or 07961 071322, and I will be more than happy. Funny enough, just to tell you, I didn't tell you this, but it's funny enough, I get a call and communication from people of other community who listen to your program. At least last day with the program that we done, I got a call from 2 people who are out of black community, not a thing, and ask them. It's funny. I think we are so scared of everything that we don't take.
Wow. Hold on, Josie, come on. Are you telling me, so you're saying some people heard this, the last show that we did, and they're in contact with you?
Yes.
But they're not from the black community.
No.
That's interesting.
Well, it's not interesting. It's interesting and sad, to say the least.
Yes, that is.
Because I think the last show was very driven to the black community. Very simple. But as they say, go to other community to learn things and bring it back into your community. So what I'm saying is that people, they reach out from other community to ours to learn from us and apply in their own community.
That's right.
And I ask myself why we don't do that.
I think it's because of maybe, I don't know, I don't want to actually speak for the community, because that is, it's so diverse why people probably are like that. I think, maybe it might be pride, maybe there might be a little bit of shyness. I don't know. What's your thoughts, Josie? What do you think?
I think you nailed it, is a pride. We are very proud, empty pocket type of people, right? So, honestly, this is what we just look. I'm not prepared to make some sacrifice because I'm proud. My pride is to show off, is not to do the right thing, if you know what I mean. So I go out of my way to show the entire community that I'm the richest guy, I'm the best succeeded, or whatever. And I don't have the system to support that. This is the reason why you see the poorer the people are in our community, the more expensive clothes the children and themselves wear. Start paying attention.
Not a good investment. Well,
this is because for them, wearing those clothes and those shoes is a way of showing others they are well in life. Now, the more I go through the community, the saddest I become, because I say, okay, these guys are the guys who really supposed to not be spending more than 30 pounds or even 20 pounds buying anything. And who spend more money? So this is the reverse. Now, the more you spend money in things which bring no return, the poorer you become.
That's right.
So we need to start being that proud, empty proud. I mean, it's not going to take us anywhere. Another thing that why we are proud is that, Imani, you're doing radio? Of course I can do radio. If Imani can do it, I can do it. Why not? I'm as good as her, man. Come on. So what do? Instead of listening to your program, instead of promoting your program and us becoming a crowdfunder, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open a radio show as well. So we become a community also of jack of all trade. So every man and woman in our community does everything.
We don't specialize.
Yeah. So we become good in nothing. If you go to our community and ask us, honestly speaking, do you know how to do financial planning? Of course I do. Of course. Who told you that I don't? Or can you draft an agreement for your tenants? Oh yeah, of course I can do that. So we do not. We tend to do certain things for no reason. There's no. Honestly, there's no reason or practical reason for us to do certain things.
Yeah.
And we don't do ourselves a favor, and we don't do our neighbor a favor as well. And this is the reason why you see, for instance, let's give an example. A restaurant, when it opens in our community, it says Caribbean restaurant. Okay. Now, Caribbean got how many countries? They are small countries, but they've got their uniqueness. Okay. So if I go to, it says the Caribbean, and then I assume that the person there, they've got about 10 or 20 chefs. Each one of them specialized in individual country meal. But when I go there, I find a guy who is from one country who heard that in another country they do that way. They don't study it, they just do it. So we become these, and we don't provide. We're not very concerned about quality. I mean, there are a few things that we need to do, basic things that we know Because when I go and I'm a chef and I work for Sheraton, they don't put me to run the entire kitchen. I mean, there are certain things that they tell me that I needed to specialize in, and this is what I do. Why don't I bring it to the community and do the same thing?
Yeah, so we've got to hone our skills and be mindful of improving. And I think, for me, I always like to learn and want to improve whatever it is I'm doing. And I think one has to put their pride to the side and say that that you can't. Your skills are never finished. You're never complete. You're always learning, is what I'm hearing you say. And be comfortable.
That's absolutely true. I mean, there is something that you are very good at, and I want to learn from you, and I want to do the thing from you. Let you do it. Of course, it doesn't stop you from learning other things. It doesn't. I mean, it is a good idea for you to have an idea how the law works in the country. You don't have to become a lawyer.
No.
But from the point of immediately you read about 5 pages or 10 pages about law, and then you became an expert. So I ask you, well, Imani, how did it? Oh yeah, I read a book about it. Come on, it doesn't work. You might have read a book for your understanding, but not to advise me. So I can tell you from experience, we've got so many financial advisors in our community that it is a problem. Because every man and his dog is a financial advisor. He advises everybody who goes to his coffee shop. He advises all his family. And because we are kind of a trusting community, whatever my brother tells me is the truth.
Well, Josie, what I want you to do, tell people about your fantastic webinar that you hold every couple of weeks, and the book as well, because you put out a very competitively well-priced book that anyone can purchase, and it's very comprehensive. It's can you before we wrap up, just let people know about that.
The book got three vectors. The first vector is to give people a glimpse, obviously, of how they can create wealth. And one of the things that I would like our audience to remember is creating wealth is not you working, for an employer. That will never create wealth for you. It may create an income, but never wealth. Okay? So how do you create wealth? Is whatever you earn. I think we spoke about this on a previous program. Whatever you earn, you discipline yourself to live within 80% of that. And the 10%, you use it to work for you. So investment is a way of you creating wealth. So the money that you have earned already, that money working, so we call it a passive income. This is how you create wealth. So every time you bring more 10%, 10% and 10%, and before you know it, that 10% that you put in first instance, it become 11%, and on and on and on and on and on. And this is the reason why even if you lose your job, you've got something in the background helping you. This is one of the things. Of course, in the book, there are a few more other things that I talk about. But this is an idea that people can pick up. Anybody can do it. You make 100 pounds, you live within 80 pounds, you use 10 pounds for emergency, and you use 10 pounds for long-term investment. And this is where your wealth comes from. Well, I'm talking about financial wealth, okay, because there is other wealth as well. Then the second part of the book talks about how do you secure what you've got already, because most of us forget about that. It is irrelevant if you build a fortune of 10 million pounds, 20 million pounds, if something happens and you lose it all. So you didn't create any wealth. It's like, for instance, people go into trade. Today you bought 100 pounds of things, you sold it for 120, you made 20. Then you go and you buy all 120, you sold it for 200. Then you go and you buy 200, and you think that you're going to sell it for 300, and you had a misfortune and you lost the 200. So you worked for 3 years and you came out with nothing, because you lost everything that you have produced, not just the capital you came in with, but also income, the profit that you have made. So become smarter. Okay, always work within maximum of your 80% of it. So I teach people ways of them securing their wealth, for things from looking after their health, things like small little things like, for instance, insurance that they should do and how to do it and how to assess the type of insurance that you may require. Wills and testament is another strategy. Trust is another strategy, and it goes to tax planning and many more advanced tools which are used by the rich and powerful to secure. But many of those things, for instance, insurance, wills and testament, trust, and investment, those are things that anybody can do. They don't cost a lot of money. And I've got an example now, unfortunately. Somebody who came from the Caribbean to this country, she bought a house. Those days she bought a house, it was about, I don't know, 20,000 pounds or 30,000 pounds. She's in her 80s now, and the house is worth 800,000 pounds, no mortgage. She's in her 80s, and she hasn't got a trust. So basically, when she kicks the bucket, the taxman can get 40% of that money. And she is adamant of spending 5,000 pounds to do a trust. How? So instead of you spending 5,000 pounds, you are telling me that you are prepared for your kids to pay 400,000? Let's be reasonable. Come on. It just doesn't make sense. The taxman is there with his hands open, wide open. The day she kicks the bucket, he's going to come for 400,000 pounds. Bang. And he's not forgiving. By the way, the taxman don't go to church, so he doesn't pray for God. Yeah, taxman, he doesn't go to church. But actually, taxman, he doesn't have soul. Sorry?
No, I'm just saying we definitely need to talk on that next time, because it's so important, isn't it?
And it's sad. It's really sad. And the last part of the book is legacy. Because if you wanted to live and be no significant, no one knows apart from your family that you've been in this world, okay, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. But if you want to be significant, if you wanted to, the day, oh wow, it's my dad or my mom who did this. Whoa, your mom? Or your grandma? Or your great-grandma? This is what life is about. This is what gives meaning to life. Coming and becoming an engineer, working for BT for 20 years and retired, and after two months no one knows about you. This is life that you want? Okay. But this is not life I dream for my people. So I give them tools and techniques how to build a legacy. And legacy can start from something very small. A book is one of them. Yes. Planting a tree, teaching a unique technique to somebody. And because legacy is something that not you benefit, but other people carry it through. So this is about the book. And as mentioned to you, the second edition is on the way. And people who get the first edition are going to get upgrade for free anyway. So they should not worry about that. The other thing is about the seminar or the webinar we done last night. And last night we talked about one thing, which was asset protection.
And can I just point out, Josie, it's a free webinar, you know? Yes, and it's so comprehensive in what you share. But sorry, carry on. Thanks a lot for reminding me of that. Yeah, it was a free webinar where we discuss a range of techniques, range of tools that people can use without needing a financial advisor, without having to pay a lot, because it is coming from a financial advisor, by the way, but it's coming for free. So those things are things that we can use to protect our wealth. And also in the seminar, I spoke about a few ways people can monetize what they've got already. Some people got a too big house or bigger house. Some people got a lawn or garden. Some people got skills. Some people got hobbies. There are many things that people can monetize. And if they put their mind to it, the monetization of that asset that they've got already alone can be enough to pay for their kids' education, can pay for their own retirement,
and all of those things. So, what we love, or what I love, is really sharing those things with people. So then, we become a community of maybe we know a little bit more, and we become a bit more responsible in order for our own affair. Another thing I need to remind people, I know they know, but I need to remind them, don't expect Theresa May to come and sort out your problem. Don't. Because all of us are expecting Theresa May, or it was David Cameron before, or Gordon Brown before, or Tony Blair before, to come and solve your problem. This is illusion. This is an illusion. Do it yourself, sort yourself out. Don't expect your neighbor to come and sort your problem. Now, if we don't take responsibility in our things, we're doomed. Simple. And I feel sad because we've got everything to win. This is me.
Indeed. Oh, wow. Well, Josie, you've given so much, and I'm sure people are going to reach out to you to learn more. And the seminar, can you please tell people where the seminar next week? Just briefly, what you'll be sharing and where they can come, and how they can get in, that type of thing.
Yeah, the seminar next week is going to be more about debt. Why people get in debt, and how they can come out of debt. So I will be teaching a few techniques as well.
Sorry,
people can do.
Josie, what I was talking about? I was talking about your seminar at the 31st. Yes. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think
so many seminars.
No, but that's fine, because you can send people to that as well. But I was referring to the crowdfunding seminar.
Yeah, the crowdfunding is people can actually go through webinar.jfsantiago.com. So if they go there, it takes them to Eventbrite, and because this is going to the organized, actually, to to Brother Daggy and the people who are organizing it. I think I don't think I'm sure. This seminar is I think is £5, I believe, per attendees. So they can, I think actually they can call you, to be honest. They can call you if they wanted to book, because your phone number is one of the one which is there as well.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, your number is one of the one which is there. So they can call you to book a spot, and it's going to be about £5. But I believe that people are going to learn a lot, especially people who got projects. Because we will bring in a lot to the table if they want to take on. So that's it. But the webinar so far, we're gonna make sure that the webinar is free, so then people can just log in and learn from that.
So there's quite a few things that's going on there. That you're doing. You're a very busy, very, very busy man, Josie, and I'm so glad that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to do this show for us, and really share so many nuggets that can help people transform their lives. But before you go, nobody leaves the Imani Speaks show without a couple of words of wisdom to take people away with. For people to take away with them, I mean.
I mean, listening, people who listen to us, we spoke about crowdfunding. So one of the things is, if you've got a project that you are passionate about and think about crowdfunding as an alternative way of you raising money to fulfill your dreams. Crowdfunding is may look complex. It's got a bit of tricky things that needs to be done, but if you want to do that, there are platforms there that we can point you in the direction to, so therefore you can fulfill your dream. 2, crowdfunding is nothing more than, if you like, a larger version of partnership that we spoke about. So therefore, think about it that way, because the people who participate in crowdfunding are people who are they think the way you think, or they believe in what you believe in. So this is the reason why they contribute into that. And obviously you can flip the coin, and those same people are people who can become your clients or your customers. So that you with one stone you're killing two birds, and you from the start you can be a winner. The other thing that I would like people to take away is, if you think carefully about crowdfunding put you at the same level as a well-established business. The same thing, because it is empowered by the internet, and actually it just a mind-blowing, is a game changer. Because in reality, crowdfunding started from, 100, 250,000 years ago. Crowdfunding is not a new thing. The only reason why it take this proportion is because the internet make you reach 7 billion people rather than just 60 million in the UK. Those are the ideas that I think people should, but they should take crowdfunding more seriously, to be honest. And do something about it. I'm passionate about it anyway, so I hope people can see value in that.
We can hear that, Josie. We can hear that you are very passionate about it, and I think it's an amazing idea, and I want everybody who comes into contact with me to know about it. And thank you so much for doing such a great job of letting people know about crowdfunding. And we are going to do more shows. We are going to do more shows helping people to help themselves. And like you said, you can't rely on the government. You've got to be self-sufficient, and that's the only way. Yeah.
Well, Imani, I have to thank you, obviously, to give me the opportunity to share with our audience my views. I believe that collectively we are more powerful than individually. So this is what you're doing, and I commend you and praise you really to be one of those ladies who you are the light. So or torch. Well, if you don't want to be torch, let's put it light. No, I think torch is better because it's more focused. So you're leading the way, and I'm more than happy to follow, because at the end of the day, I follow the good leaders, not the big leaders.
Well, I'm very humbled to hear you say that, Josie, but I think it's the other way around. I'm, learning so much from you, and I really appreciate your input and your humility and your generosity that you're giving to the community, near and far away.
Yeah, joke aside, do you think that I'm not learning? Well, this is one side of the coin, I can tell you. I'm learning so much that you will be surprised.
Oh.
So, yeah, you will be surprised. But anyway, but no, it's just a pleasure, a joy to participate with you in the program, because obviously we're starting up. I'm not saying you, but with this program, I think we're starting up. With the time, people are going to realize that it's going to be a source of a lot of useful information that they can use on a day-to-day basis. And again, Imani, I asked you this before, but asking again, just if you see me drifting into jargons and big words and this kind of thing, stop me, because the idea is we're not in a financial professional conference. We are we are on a radio show, so I don't expect everybody to know all of those jargons. The same way when I talk to doctors, I ask them to speak with me on a layman terms. So asking you, just in case if you see me or you heard me drifting into those big words, please stop me, slow me down, because at the end of the day, it's something to be simple for people to understand. And they can apply, and this is the main purpose, not to come here and showing you how many big words I know.
No, you've not been guilty of that. You've been very, you've made it very sort of comprehensive for everybody to understand, and I appreciate that.
Cool. Okay, so
Josie,
once again,
I think we should wrap up and go out on a high, because you've really delivered so much. Thank you so much.
The pleasure was all mine, and I hope our audience will like it and they start taking action. I dream of the day in 5 years' time our community is upside down for the good, obviously.
Yeah, fabulous. I like the sound of that dream. Okay, Josie,
Thank you very much. Okay, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.